All right, 5 o'clock on a Monday. You know what time it is. Let's do this. Let's hit the books. Part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel, alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Joey Knish. Looks like he's been hitting the workout room. I am merely Brad Powers, producer extraordinaire. Alex Moretto is joining us. Big time. They're bringing in the big guns here for the first of the weekly shows. This is indeed the first of our weekly Monday shows that we'll be doing all throughout the summer. Then we'll kick it up and do multiple ones as we get close to the season. We'll also have some conference previews that we'll do probably starting up in July. But first and foremost, we'll get to the comments in a little bit. But we got to pay the bills. That's why we're here. Got to make that money. And speaking of money, it might be the offseason, but if you want to bet on college football futures, there's only one book to look at. That's FanDuel. Is the place to go. At least that's your first look to go. I love betting FanDuel. They've been the leader as far as getting to the marketplace first when it comes to totals, over-unders, national championship odds, Heisman odds, week one lines. The hell, they had week one lines. They had the Ohio State-Michigan line up. I swear we were doing the national championship game. And they had Ohio State-Michigan up. Love FanDuel. One of the reasons why I'm here in Ohio, because FanDuel is in Ohio. They're not in Nevada, so I made the move so I can bet more and more at our friends at FanDuel. And right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Just place any $5 bet and you'll get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. What you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/hitthebooks to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/hitthebooks. Disclaimer, you must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE New York, or text HOPE New York in New York. Knish, been a few weeks. How you been, buddy?
Still got it, baby. Good. I know, and better now that one of our own is back home, baby, in the weeds of Bowling Green, the Ashbury Hills, back where you belong. Great to have you. You can smell that crisp, clean Midwest air.
Oh, yeah, definitely crisp, clean, but also cool. I mean, it's been brutal cold the last couple of weeks. Old parents, the farm at the garden, they ain't looking too good. A lot of fields ain't looking too good, but today's a good day. I don't know, you're a couple hours north of me, so but today officially it looks like summer's starting. So good to be back. Obviously got a little on the field at the alma mater yesterday.
I was going to say, nice. Yeah, give us the boots on the ground report. Was that just you stopped by because you were close, or when's the stadium?
Yeah, just stopping by. I was on the way to the parents, so stopping by. They must have had some recruits there because they were I don't know if they were laughing at me, but they were having a good time up on the one end of the stadium. So that was funny. But yeah, good stuff for BG. We can talk some more BG as we get into it. But obviously,
they said the recruits. They said that it's like when the Drake recruits. It's like meeting our most famous alumni, like the guys right on the field. Look, instead of there's Brad Powers.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I guess in the weeds, old school, old Toledo Blade getting a breakdown, position by position. A BG. Old man said, "Hey, you might have a breakdown here." Oh my God!
No AI in this part of the country, baby. We're pounding the keyboard, printing her out.
Yeah, old school there. We're glad to be back. Old newspaper reading to get the lowdown on these teams. What else? I mean, it's been kind of a slow news as far as college football. I mean, I know there's playoff talk, the 5+11 model and all that, but that as far as gambling, it's just we finally have lines up. We have markets are maturing as far as win totals. Week one is now up for every single game. So, I mean, if you want to get a bet on a team or a game, FanDuel's got you covered. A lot of books have you covered.
Yeah, I would say, last few weeks, the hot topics more been as used to kind of on the macro of college football as a whole. Which direction is the playoff heading? Shocker. More games, not only college football, but college basketball. Well, we told you on this show a long time ago that once you crack that you crack that egg open and you go from 4 to 12, and they just they say, "Oh, give me some more, give me some more checks." So yeah, not too surprising there. How do you feel about? Listen, we don't want to start off the year I mean, this is usually our soapbox of where do we feel the game is going, and the house settlement and what a roster is going to look like, and when does the transfer portal issue all get solved? When does the dust settle? Like, when do we have an actual sustainable model? I don't know. It's just a lot of questions that I can give you opinions on, but it seems kind of we're in this limbo of college football right now of not exactly sure where things are going. Is there going to be a salary cap? Is there going to be any roster limitations? Is there going to be any movement limitations? I don't know. So it's interesting.
I'll be anxious to see how they enforce that salary cap. It'll be back to the old days, $100 handshakes.
Yeah, some bean counter at Deloitte is going to tell me that the NIL deal that Texas signed for $2 million for the quarterback is no good anymore, and Texas is going to just say, "Okay, sure." I'm a little skeptical, but
yeah,
we'll have to see. I don't know if that's the solution, but it's something. It's I guess an idea.
All right, enough of us. Let's get to the stars of the show. That being you guys, the chat. Sean Higgs, the biggest star of the show, $50. He's got some seed money for some Knish Spaces. You starting up a Spaces channel?
I tell you what, I don't think after recent transgressions, I don't think I want to be in the Spaces business. We'll keep it. I like this show and doing it this way. I don't think you're going to see me and BP, talking about whose scam Discord is out there at 4 a.m.
Thank you,
Unless
Sean,
the season goes real bad. If it's week 6 and we haven't won a game yet, and you see us trying to drum up some Spaces for some Elon bucks, then we're having a rough year.
Yeah, thankfully we're coming off a good year. Although our futures need to be better this year. There's always room for an improvement, and that would be our summer betting portfolio this year. I mean, we've been quiet for a reason, so hopefully that pays off in the long run. Thank you, Sean, again, and he also says terrible with that playoff expansion crap. Yeah, that's just not my cup of tea talking about that stuff because, I mean, it's just filler. I mean,
you're right, and it's just like us going to be bitching. But you know what I'm saying? We're trying to keep the show. We're trying to get you excited about college football. You don't want to see, 2 old guys here talking about in our day when it was just an AP national title. That's what it was. But yeah, I don't like the sport is not a great sport to have a 1 versus 16 or you know what I'm saying? No. There's never that.
That's not very rewarding for the. Why would you? I mean, as the one, I mean, that's not rewarding for them, really. You got to play a game. I mean, chances of injury. I mean, I don't like it, but I mean, as a bettor, more the merrier, more games. Let's bet more.
That's the optimistic take. Is never going to shy away from more games to bet on.
Sean also gifted, this is the Sean Higgs show, gifted 20 Hit the Books memberships. Sean, we love you, buddy. We'll have to get you on the payroll. Moreto's back there. I don't know who we're going to hire as a producer and that. They call up Sean. I mean, he might have some ideas. Trip Tepper, long time.
Trip.
Yeah, he's a new member. Unbelievable. Would have thought he was already a member. He's one of our better viewers. Let's get to him. Christian, first up. Thoughts on any game of the year lines? We won't mention the book, but those are posted on Friday. Clemson -12.5 at North Carolina, Michigan -3 at Nebraska. I have bet one of them. I got a better number. Can you guess what it was?
This is
Well, come on, man. Why would I ask that if you know what team?
Well, I'm gonna think maybe your little cornstalk.
No, I bet the Wolverines. Bet the Wolverines. I laid a better number as 2.5. I laid it. Like the Michigan. I don't like Raiola.
You are a Raiola hater, and I always have on the bandwagon.
Always have been. I like Michigan's. I know there's questions at quarterback, but I'll tell you what, I like Michigan's meat and potatoes. So there you go. Offensive line, maybe not as good, but man, that D line looked pretty good. Linebackers, blocking and tackling. I like them running backs. Go blue. So I did lay that one. Did you play any of those? Again, we won't mention the book. Did you bet any of them?
I did not, just because that book, it's a little. Yep. It's not like our good book that we have sponsoring this show. That book makes it extremely difficult to get bets at their location. So on the actual game, I'd say I need to see a little bit for Michigan to want to be laying at 2.5. I'm not going to kill you. To be laying a field goal or more on the road versus a real opponent, I'm probably a little bit higher on Nebraska than you. I'm probably a lot higher on Raiola and his long-term potential than you. So I'm going to need to see it. It's just, do I think Michigan's offense is going to be better? Yes. Do I think it's going to be good? And good enough to, be wanting to lay over a field goal against, a real opponent? We'll see.
I like that they've already played Oklahoma prior to that game on the road. So I think there'll be some sense of urgency there. If they do
anything
lose
on the other,
So I see it this way. I look at if they lose to Oklahoma, they gain experience, and there's more of a sense of urgency against Nebraska. That game becomes, we can't lose another game in the month of September. Or if they beat Oklahoma, you're going to be laying more than 3. So the line's going to be a little more. That's the way I look at it. Win-win. So we'll see. You know what that means? Win-win. It means Nebraska will beat them. I don't know. We'll see. When has Nebraska won one of the big games? They don't win those games. They haven't for a decade. Austin M in the chat. Afternoon, gents. Thoughts on Rice plus 16 week 1. Buffalo 8-1 to win the MAC. 2 plays I'm on. Eileen Rice. I won't go on that one.
Well,
need a little bit more on that
last year, and it almost it sent me to the poorhouse. So go ahead.
Yeah, I need a little bit. I need to read up a little bit more on Rice. Obviously, got a new coach there. I lean that way. Power ratings say they're the play, but need a little more on that. Buffalo, I'm in on to win the MAC. The tout service gave that out today.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
You know what? I got to get on the old distribution.
8-1 is better than, I don't know where you got 8-1 at, because
I think he was in on these a little earlier, but
yeah, that was moving. Maybe Austin moved them, but I saw that it must have moved over the weekend. Somebody got in on that because I think that's good. Let's call it 6-1 or greater. I think is good on that, but do like Buffalo quite a bit. I think they're the second best team in the MAC. The team that I think is the best is not very reliable. That being Mr. Matt Candle.
Your boy.
Yeah.
You're within the best shouting range now if it goes bad.
Yeah. Or Jason Candle. Why did I say Matt Candle? What the Jason Candle? Man, I got to that was rough. But yeah, Buffalo's got a lot back. I like Pete Lembo. So there you go. Mason Bryant, thoughts? What do you think?
Any
thoughts on the MAC? Who do you like?
Well, first, if you watch this show all last year or last few years, Joey K's taking a bunch of hits on Rice. I'll tell you that. Bob, I'm that guy, the boxer in the corner that's punch drunk from betting Rice a few too many times. With that said, I do like the hire. It's that we've talked on this, and this is a hit the books off season. Kind of a drastic offensive scheme change. And I know that's easier now with the portal and bringing guys in. It was something that I remember, when Wisconsin first was switching over to their offense, we were like, no, and it went terrible. I'm a little, that would be do I think, you got a good number there. I think it'll come down, probably close around 14, something like that. But that first year, a lot of new personnel, new scheme change. I think the variance there where it could go real bad and they get smacked is there, but I don't hate the play. So I think it's a good move long-term for Rice. Will you see it early on week 1? Will they be humming? Yeah. I like
that ULL quarterback. They got that former 5-star. I watched a little bit of their spring game. I got some fans stepped up. The network said no more spring games. The coaches say no more spring games. There's people, taking, I love it, but I caught quite a bit. That kid from LSU and went to Ole Miss. I'm not good with names right now. I just know he looked good. He's number 7. Mason Bryant, thoughts on this UTEP team? Are they worth a shot on Conference USA future over win total? Thoughts on Mizzou under 7.5 wins? Thanks, fellas. Can't wait for the weekly shows. Weekly shows are starting right now. I haven't done anything with UTEP. 5.5 seems a little optimistic. I think there's some variance there. They're overturning the roster. They got some talent, but it's just, betting UTEP to get to a bowl, let alone win the conference, is not something I have in my portfolio yet. Have you done anything with the minors?
No. To win the conference, I think is a big step. They got new coordinators on both sides. Have I dug deep enough in there to know how I'm feeling on both the new scheme changes on some of that? Not exactly. It's not a program that you're feeling like has the talent of kind of in there where Jacksonville State kind of got it rolling. They're not going to have as much talent as Liberty or Western Kentucky. Again, here's what I'll say. In CUSA, everybody's bad. So am I going to talk you off, taking a shot there? That I think it's one of those conferences where if you look at FanDuel right now, there's nobody over 30-1. And it's because pretty much nobody's any damn good in the entire conference. So it is one of those where you could see, I think, the variance of anybody winning it. With that said, I'm not that bullish on UTEP to at least start so far the year.
Yeah. Another one where I watched every single play of their spring game. I even posted the video. Somebody took right from the stands, took every play. Just didn't see it. Malachi Nelson's transferring in. He didn't even look like the best quarterback. Locklear kid. I mean, if I had to call it after spring, I would have said Locklear looked better in the game.
That to me is like he's on the when it's what's the old saying? It's getting late early. It like if he can't win the job at UTEP, I mean, I think you better start, getting your resume updated for, Enterprise Rent-A-Car or something for that program. I mean, if like at that point you've been beat out at 3 different programs and you're at the bottom barrel of CUSA, I think it's over at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan A, congrats on the move, Brad. Which first-year coaches are my highest and lowest on this year?
This is a your old boy Phil Steele. This is his wheelhouse of. This is a magazine question.
Yeah, highest. I mean, that's tough because almost every roster is decimated. I mean, with the portal, I'll say one most likely to improve, maybe triple, quadruple their win total. I would be Southern Miss because he basically brought the Marshall team with them that won. That won the Sun Belt. But that's kind of priced in. I mean, they're as high as 4.5 in the win total market, and people are betting over. So, I mean, I think Southern Miss probably has a chance to be the most improved of the first-year coaches. As far as who's down, oh, man, where do we begin? I mean, a ton of them. I mean, I bet a lot of them under the win total. I think one that takes the biggest step back probably is Sam Houston. They won 10 games last year. I mean, what's their win total? Like 4.5? Again, the market's on top of that. I mean, I thought, oh, wow, they won 10 games. Maybe I can play under 6.5. No, the books like FanDuel are on top of it, 4.5. So I think they're probably the one that I'm the biggest down on. I don't like the coach. I don't like the coach. Jacksonville State's another one I didn't like the hire there. So 2 in Conference USA, believe it or not. Where are you at?
I'd say one that I would say skepticism would be, and maybe this is going to be because I'm an old Troy Taylor stan, the Stanford, and I know they had to get rid of Taylor for whatever reasons. I'm not on the old Frank Reich, going to turn it back around, especially year one. I don't love old guys in college, but we've talked Belichick all offseason.
Well, it's just a 1-year thing.
Hopefully just a 1 year. Do I think he's got like primed and ready to come in and get Stanford back? No, I'm not feeling it. So I was actually kind of I thought Stanford under Taylor could add something. I don't like that as a whatever you want to call it, a gap filler. In terms of what, you know what? It's the offseason. I'm feeling zesty. Give me that Scott Frost Kool-Aid, baby. You back to it, back to UCF, back where it started. Gus Malzahn, get that bum out of here. Scott Frost got his head on straight, hopefully sober now. Back in Central Florida, where it all came to roost. Coming off, you know what? He's got a chip on his shoulder. I still think he can call an offense. Give me Scott Frost at UCF in the bounce house, where it's like you coming back to Ohio and everybody's like, giving you hugs. And now it's great. It feels good. What do you think? Also, I don't know why I want to ask you one. Logan's at App State? Because I
Don't
hated
like it.
Sean.
Don't like him.
I didn't love that. I know.
I don't like a lot of these hires. Don't like that hire.
I don't love that either. And I was like, yes, they need to fire Sean Clark, and I thought that'd be a program that.
Yeah, I thought they could do better than that.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's priced in. I mean, my numbers say lean over. Definitely a 5.5 lean over. I haven't bet it yet, though. I don't like betting blind. I've done the thing since the transfer portal became hot and heavy, and basically teams get decimated when the coach leaves. Last 4 years, you blindly bet the under on every first-year coach. You're like 57%. That's against a sharp book in the middle of July. So if you're betting these early, you better go under more often than not on first-year coaches. Not saying that a Texas State from a couple years ago can't happen type of stuff, but or in Indiana last year. But I mean, that's the exceptions to the rules. So I don't like a lot of these hires. Do like the BG hire, but again, I don't think that's going to work out either, though. At least for year one. I have my doubts. Egg feels like the G5 got ravaged way more than before. Yep, that is definitely a fact, not just an opinion.
Yep.
BP, How many G5 teams did you actually upgrade from year end? I haven't looked, but can't be too many. I mean, well, let's start. 24 of the 30 new head coaches are G5. 24 of the 30 new coaches this year, G5. So, I mean, and on top of it, anybody worth a damn as a starter, an all-conference player, and the G5 transferred to the P4. So, I'm guessing upgrade maybe 20% or less out of the G5. So less than 20% is my guess. Any thoughts on that? I just the gap's getting bigger. I think there's some parity at the top of college football where, maybe we only had 3-4 teams capable of winning the national championship. Now that number's probably 6 or 8 now. So at least there's some parity there. But the parity between P4 and G5, that gap is getting wider.
Yeah, no, you're right. The cream is kind of like rising to instead of all going, to 3 or 5 programs, as you said. Now in the national title picture, you'll probably have 8 to 12. Maybe eventually you'll get to, we'll get to 15 teams that have a realistic shot at winning the Natty. But now that fall off from, 30 to 60 is going to be exceedingly steep. As now your G5 programs are basically like, AAA baseball, where, a kid has a good year. You can't keep them. Like, you just can't. You can't. You're going to have, 20 Power 4 programs come in and offer them to 2X, 3X, 4X's yearly stipend.
Even to be a backup.
Yeah. So it's just like, I don't know how, unless, again, as we talked to start the show, unless some of this stuff gets ironed out, the G5 is just going to get continually picked off here. And not only for players, but coaches. Because you can if you're a MAC coach, you'll get more money as a P4, DC or OC. So it's like now even the young talent, as you just elaborated on with the bad coaching hires, now a lot of like the young up and comers, the move isn't to really go to the MAC anymore, because if I have a good year in the MAC, my whole team gets poached. So I don't know. It feels like the traditional pipeline we've seen for the history of college football is now all changed.
Mason, well said. Good job. Look at you in midseason form. Mason Bryant, what are your 2 coaches do we see taking a big step this year? Oh, wow.
I know, Mason, you caught me because I would need a list of year 2 coaches right in front of me. I'm gonna hopefully tee up BP here for.
I think I'll give you one that I think goes down. It would be Fran Brown at Syracuse, but that's priced in the market. That's going down. Who can bounce back? I'm just looking to see what I bet. I made quite a few bets. Shoot. I'm looking. I think Arizona will be improved. I bet Arizona over 4.5 wins. You can find that somewhere. So I think Brett Brennan, they're not going to be back to, where they were a couple years ago, but they'll be a little bit more improved. So that's one that I bet. Oregon State's another one with the second-year coach. Their schedule is easy, so I bet over the win total there. Mississippi State's another one. Look at me roll off these. Yeah, I did bet that one. I think they'll be improved again. Win total is 3.5 there on Mississippi State. Anybody else? No, not really. Just looking. I like Buffalo quite a bit, even though they exceeded. I think they can win the MAC. I bet Buffalo's win total over. I'm not the only one. The win total got bet over. without me announcing or anything, telling anybody. Mac was getting a bet there, so I think they're in a bounce back. So there's a bunch of teams. Did you get any that you like?
No, it's good. I mean, listen, I was teeing you up for that one, so no, I appreciate you you saving the question there.
All right, Charles in the chat. Any correlation between the puck season ending and the weekly shows coming back? Need the boys' finals picks. Well, you're gonna get a boy. Well, we'll bring Moretto on. Also, anywhere in the streets for the Knolls this season.
Are you sure we should? If Chuck wants to actually make money, are you sure we should bring Moretto? I mean, that's like you want to call up Moretto and Albury here. I will say the end of Chuck. You're lucky that the shows ended when it did, because the Joey K pucks we were really rolling through we'll call it January, and then kind of came back to still had a positive year, but it was a rough stretch. So I'm glad we were not on the air, because I know as we were doing hits of book shows, the pucks were red hot. So hopefully we'll get back to start the season next year. In terms of the finals, I don't actually have a bet on that. Gun to my head, give me the oil cans. Give me the first Canadian Cup since, what is it, 93, Montreal. And I'm glad it's not Montreal or Toronto. So give me Edmonton, the people's team in Canada.
You agree, Moretto? Do you want to come in or not?
Yeah, we gave out the Oilers on the show. So, and unlike Joey Pucks, we've been since Albert left. Since Albert left, it was here, and then Albert left the show, and we've been going up.
That's a great personnel change. I can't lie about
it. Jeez. David Deal in the chat. Oklahoma over 6.5 minus 160. Thoughts? Didn't bet it. Certainly Oklahoma's been taking money. Call me. Mike Vivian's not gonna like this, but I'm more skeptical of Mateer, the offense, Venables, the schedule. I haven't bet under, but I'm not part of this over money train and everybody betting to win the conference and all that. I'm not there. Where are you?
Well, one of the big mushes I know from one of my football group chats says he loves Oklahoma. So that was a tough one to see for them yesterday. I know Mikey B's on the Oklahoma train. I will say that game week 2 is going to be a significant. I think for both win totals. If you want, I think you go back and you look end of the year, Oklahoma, Michigan. Whoever wins that. It's kind of a coin flip there in terms of their win total and I think I saw a line, my Oklahoma minus 1.5 is. So I'm a little bit skeptical with you. At the same time, I'm not ready to bet the under on 6.5.
Yeah, I'm not there. If you gave me 7.5, I would though.
Yeah,
I'd be in. I just look at that schedule. Even if you like, I think I got him around 7. So, I would, if you got a decent juice price on the over, I think you can make worse bets. I am 17th in the country in a power rating. And again, I'm only projecting 7 and 5. So, I think I'm relatively high, 17th. Come on.
They have to be Michigan. They really like with that.
Yeah,
SEC
Michigan gets huge swing game.
You got 3 banked wins: Kent State, Temple, Illinois State. The Michigan game is going to be that like whether
I think it's kind of a bad matchup. I know it's a first road start for a quarterback, but Oklahoma's offensive line is not very good, in my opinion, or at least unproven. And man, Michigan, they're going to bring it up front. Just letting you know.
And they have this SEC. Like, who's the worst SEC team they play? Probably. Was it like SEC again? We're not talking a lot of bad teams, but they got a rough, as you said, in-conference schedule is brutal. There's no layup. Like, there's no game.
Missouri, maybe?
That's what I was going to say. Probably
that's
Missouri.
Their easiest game. A team that beat them last year.
Yeah, and that's the easiest game in conference you've got. You don't have a single conference game that you're like, yep, win.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical. Hopefully, Mike and your group and all them groups, they keep betting them all summer, and I can, at the end of the summer, bet under. That's where I'm at there. Eat that. Thoughts on both Michigan State under 5.5, Wisconsin under 5.5. Missed the show. Thanks, guys. Numbers like Michigan State more. I haven't got there yet, though. That was one I really would have liked to seen a spring
Yeah.
game on Michigan State. Where are you at?
You
Numbers
would
say
need,
under for me.
you know what? I would rather bet a juiced 6 than under 5.5 at plus money.
Okay.
I'll put it
Where
that
are you
way.
seeing a juice 6 that?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and not to play, bookmaker here, but I know some places that'll come out. Yeah, like most shops are 5.5. As we get closer, if I can get an alt at a 6 or a really juiced 6.5, I'd prefer just a flat 6.
Agree.
But that would be. I got to tell you, there's not a lot of local optimism over in East Lansing, folks, right now. This is going to be a real make or break for Jonathan Smith because we both love that hire. There's not a lot of momentum going into year 2. The recruiting looks bad. The portal looks bad. The roster they have isn't particularly. I don't know. I'm kind of shocked that it's gone this way so far. I don't know. I'm not taking the over here though. It would be under 6 because I don't think this team is winning 7 games in any imagination.
Yeah, I'm in wait mode, but if we get close to the season, I might get a feel. But as bad as they were last year, didn't they win 5 games last year? That's what I mean. It's just he finds a way to win a game or something, and you're just like, what?
I'm with you. I'm with you there. Where it's like I can't go under here. I would need.
Yeah, you need the 6. I agree with that. Let's hope we get it. I don't think we will though. DT plus the points. Better get the Tide while you can. Mark my words. I'm a buyer of the Crimson Tide this offseason.
I was on doing a radio spot on a different show last week, and they said, if you had to pick one national title future, and it was like I said, this isn't usually the market that I think there's early season value on, but if I had to pick one, it'd be Alabama. And I think it was like 12-1 or something. So that would be well.
Moretto's doing a good job flipping through these screens. Good job, Moretto.
Yeah, I know. Look at this guy.
11-1. I'm a buyer. So what do I mean? I bet them win the SEC over the win total. Week 1. There's been some movement in all those markets. I've been a part of it. I'll put it that way. Teek's also asking early reaction Notre Dame minus 12.5 versus USC. Freeman's going to want to pour it on his old pal and scared Lincoln. I don't like that price. No, because I think there's a good. In fact, I bet it was 13.5. So you know what I bet. Not that I love SC in that game because of what Teek said. I mean, Notre Dame can pour it on, they can, but that's all about getting the best price. And I think there's a good chance that SC could be undefeated entering that game, depending on the Michigan game, which is the week before. But they might enter that game, I think, at worst 1 loss. So Notre Dame's been favored by that much over SC like one time in the last 30 years, and they didn't cover that game. I went to it.
I knew he's going to pull out the old.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like 30. I mean, when is Notre Dame favored by double digits over SC? I was at the game. It was 2018. It was Notre Dame 11-0 versus a 5-6 USC team, and they only won by 7. So yeah, I'm not in rivalry games. I mean, I'm not running the window to late points.
No, I'm that is one, like, to me, if you're going to play a game of the year, I think for most people, for me, it's like, I got to feel like I'm getting, this is worth it for me, that I'm going to get a better price, that there's no way again, things can happen. People get hurt, all that, but that's no way that realistically that price is going to be there the week of. I have a hard time.
Our number is going to be in the single digits. I'm telling
you. Yeah.
So and keep in mind, while I like Notre Dame quite a bit this year, their toughest games are at the front. There's a chance that they've lost a game or so coming into that game. So sometimes you got to think about that. I just wait. If you want to bet Notre Dame, wait on that game. I don't think that one's going to be single digits at kickoff. Spark College Football. Are you guys in on Texas Tech? They brought in a great transfer class in their NIL as elite. Good question, because I did like a lot of, yes, I'm in, but not at current market.
That's, you know what, if like we were both early Texas Tech buyer, but we're talking early. We're talking months ago. That was one of those Sparky and Craig that that was pretty, like, the juice was out of the can for the toothpaste was out of the tube early on them. And the market kind of reacted accordingly. I think at some books right now, they're the current favorite to win the Big 12. So it's gotten right now where it's like the price is really correct. And even, I mean, you could maybe make a small argument. It's even overcorrected a bit.
Yeah.
Where they're being priced like the best team in the Big 12. So could they be? Yes, obviously a lot going on there. It's just the numbers are just out of range now to actually.
I still have Kansas State and Arizona State ahead of them in my power ratings. So not that there's much separation. So I think better to, if you want to bet Texas Tech, that one book out there wasn't too high on them that released a bunch of Game of the Year lines. So there you go. If you want to buy, if you're in on them, they're an underdog in quite a few of those. So there you go. Steve Belkey and this will be interesting. Contract status update. I will, you know me, I don't pull any punches. I don't hide anything. Nothing is signed yet, but from what was laid out to me, looks like we're progressing in the right way. So that's why we're doing the show. What was laid out to me looks pretty good, but nothing is signed on the dotted line. So there you go. Not hiding, meandering around the question. I mean, I go right at it. Right? You don't get the political answer from me. I don't hide around things. We just answer.
No, yeah.
Your thoughts on that? You're not quiet. Look at you.
No. I was. We expect to be with you throughout the season and looking forward to it. How's that for a little political?
There you go. They run for. I don't know. Your party needs some help needs some leadership. Maybe you can help them out there. That was a good political answer. But yeah, things are progressing well. That's why we're doing the show. And that's why we're doing the show next week. And that's why I said we're going to start out weekly. So there, you can take that for what it's worth. Ryan McCarthy, thoughts on Jeremiah Love, Heisman 50-1. I don't like it. I love Jeremiah Love, but that's a loaded backfield. They'll split the carries. He's not going to get 40 carries a game like Ashton Genty. I think he's the most talented running back in college football, but don't like it.
I mean, now granted, Boise State is not Notre Dame. So I know people will say like, oh, Genty put up 1 million yards. He doesn't have to have that kind of season to get in the conversation. But I almost never, I can't think of many scenarios in the last, since we've been doing this seriously, where I bet anybody but a quarterback to win the Heisman preseason. Like, I just don't bet skill players. Like, it's one of those that I'd rather kind of see, have it trending in a certain way than pick it up later than bet it preseason. So yeah, I'm not, especially at 50, like it would have to be some grandiose prices to even want to bet, wide receiver, running back to win the award.
Rather bet CJ Carr. Brendan Lennart. See how you slipped that in there. Pitt win total thoughts. If you can get 6.5, I'm on the under there. Have you done anything with Pitt?
I have not. I would tend to lean with you though. Yeah.
See, it's price dependent. 5.5. Understand why it's juiced to the under. I prefer 6.5 to the under.
Agreed.
But if you told me you bet over 5.5, tough team because they started 7-0, lost 6 straight. Narduzzi, I'm not a fan of, so I'm more skeptical there. Knish, Brad, are you using this is a good question. AI in any of your college football betting models yet? I am not. Are you?
So Sam, I'll say, well, like, listen, we don't shy away from here. I'm not the, do some power ratings, but I'm not the guy that's going to create, the model from scratch that's going to beat the market. I have been using it though to basically kind of accumulate information for season previews for teams, where we talk about it all the time, but like the old Bill Connolly previews that he used to put out before he was at ESPN, and he kind of semi-retired to bet, to talk about European soccer. That, like, to me, you can basically reproduce that kind of stuff right now with AI, where, hey, if you feed it the right information, give me talked about Rice earlier, a Rice season football preview for 2025. That's how I'm using it right now. And it's kind of easier to pull that stuff together instead of, clicking around and around and around. Do I know some people that I move for that are using it in an advanced capacity? Yes. So I'd say, Sam, it's definitely happening. But for me personally, using it as I think a lot of people use AI, and it's just to get information into a centralized place much quicker than you could having to either put it together yourself or click around.
Great answer. Ryan McCarthy, Iowa State versus Kansas State, Ireland game. Thoughts? Haven't bet that game yet. A little bit of money early was on Kansas State. I didn't get to the window quick enough. I think it opened 1.5. Just wasn't there yet. Good game. Good way to get it's a game that unless it gets crazy, I think it's a good game. I can get an idea of a power rating on both teams. So, you know anything yet?
No, gun to my head, I'd probably lean Iowa State now that it's crossed over 3. But one of those, I agree with you. Kind of early would have taken. Hey, listen, Kansas State was 1.5. I'd say bet Kansas State. Now that it's crossing 3, would lean it. That is a game though that early Ireland game. I'm sure I'll have. I'm not sure. Am I going to have action on it? Yes, but one that I've kind of shied away from in terms of like serious action.
I gotta tell you, man, this is loaded here. As far as the comments, you guys are in midseason form. Can't forget Step on a Duck, who's been very active in betting.
I
markets.
know Duck
moving
moving
markets too. Moving markets. Let's go, guys. Regular season wins. My absolute favorite future prop market, without question. Value to be had. Good luck, guys. Thanks for the $4.99. Step on a Duck.
Thank you,
Again,
sir.
Make
Duck,
sure you
follow. Trying to step on your corner over there, trying to get on the BP corner.
Yeah, he's moving markets. So if you want to follow him on Twitter, Step on a Duck. He's got quite a few up, and he is, I will say, he's doing a good job. I'll just put it that way. So I got to be quick to the trigger on some of the stuff that I agree with him on. Otherwise, that stuff's gone. 20 MC20 wins college football tour stop number 2. What's the schedule look like this year? I don't know. If I do a major one, it's going to be I-35 from San Antonio to Minneapolis, but I'm not sure. Man, keep in mind, guys, I just moved across the country. It wasn't fun. So I'm not.
Did you drive your stuff?
Yeah, I drove my stuff.
Oh boy.
And I know that's. I just whenever I could fit in my pickup truck. I mean, my pickup truck I had to drive it, so I mean, I fit whatever I could in my pickup truck, and that's it. I looked at movers. It was like $10,000, and I know, oh, wow, he's being cheap. I mean, I don't have much stuff. I mean, I could obviously my computers and my tech stuff can go in my truck, and I want it in my truck. I'm not gonna put that with movers. I can buy all new stuff for $10,000. All my stuff that I got, $10,000. So I just kept the essentials, whatever I can fit. That's what I did. One fun. Not looking to drive across the country, at least right now. Ask me in 2 months. Maybe I'll have a plan, but I am located where I can go to about 20 different places in a couple-hour drive. So look for stuff like that. MAC country, Big Ten country, random stuff like that. So that's what I'll do. Micah, I might be in your neck of the woods. I really have not ever enjoyed the UP, Lake Michigan.
No, really.
So I think I might do a 3-4 day thing like that. Where I'll hit. I've never been to Central Michigan, so I hit that. Western I haven't been, but also hit the UP and stuff, Mackinac Island, all that.
I tell you, like the UP, and I'm not exactly like Joey outdoorsman or any of that. I've been to the UP, I think twice, in like one time in the fall, and I got to tell you, it was like, and this is not my bag at all, but like I was driving into like Houghton here, where Michigan Tech is, like as I'm coming down the hall, I still have the like visuals in my head. I was like, I can't, like this is shit you see in a fucking magazine. I was like, I can't believe it's like say picturesque here. Central. You got to
get above.
Yeah,
you got to get it. Yeah, a little above.
Yeah,
there.
You got to keep going. Central Michigan, nice if you're going to Soaring Eagle. Otherwise,
you got to go another hour or two north.
yeah. You stop short. You're selling yourself.
But I would say
I do like Kalamazoo. Great city, great college town.
Lake Michigan, if you drive up there, starting with Saugatuck and all them, going way up, Traverse City, the UP.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this because I'm doing a show with a Michigan guy. Because I haven't done it much. I've done snowmobiling in the winter. I've been to some of the dunes, but I haven't enjoyed it as an adult on my time. I think Michigan might be the most underrated in the summer.
Yeah.
The Lake Michigan side might be one of the more underrated places in America. I'm just no bullshit there.
No, I
I'm saying-
agree. There are some as you're saying, in the summer, because in the winter, that's central and northern Michigan, woof. But yeah, that for that 4 or 5 months out of the year, it is premium.
Yeah. In the weeds from Mika. In the weeds, but Missouri State, Kennesaw State win total seem a touch high. Somebody, and I think it was Step on a Duck, got me on Kennesaw State. Yeah, the one book had them too high. I'm not there yet at current market. I got a deep dive still. I mean, there was so much. These G5 schools, I mean, they're doing so much roster turnover post spring that I've been kind of, unless something's considerably off, I'm kind of wait and see. I'll have more of an idea in a month or two. That's not like me either.
And I mean, I will say Missouri State, again, that's the thing last year, like the roster turnover makes it tough. I know they've got some continuity at like quarterback, and I like their coach, but it's like that first year step up. Now we're not stepping up into the Power Four by any means. We're stepping up.
It's Conference USA.
CUSA. To ask to get to, I mean, I remember kind of that first Sam Houston year was really rough. And that was a program that kind of brought a lot up it's just that step up in competition that first year. I don't like to back teams, even though now I think Kennesaw at FanDuel 3.5, Missouri State 4.5. I'm not really bullish either way on those.
I'm Mickey Hill. Y'all got to fight over the Toledo Strip. We will not. Yeah, I'm back in Ohio, but I didn't move back to the Toledo area. If Knish wants Toledo, they can have them. The old joke is obviously the only two states to actually go to war with one another was Ohio, Michigan over the Toledo area. And the joke is that Ohio lost, so they kept Toledo.
Well, yeah, that's how we got the UP.
Yeah. So, no, I'm not a Toledo guy. Ryan McCarthy, favorite conference champion bet. Well, I mean, I know he's asking current market. I can tell you in pocket be Clemson. Love Clemson win the ACC. Current market, find Buffalo. Again, I gave it out today. It's out service. I like Buffalo. Kind of a long shot, a little bit of long shot, I guess. But where are you at on that? I mean, I bet a lot of them.
You know what? I got one for the G5s, but let's save it for next week.
All right.
So yeah, you gave Buffalo today. I got one of the G5.
We do have to come up with the best bet. We have to have one best bet at the end of the show. You think we can do it?
Yeah.
All right. Knish, will it hurt watching JJ McCarthy win the NFC North this year, or will you just sit back and appreciate greatness at work?
I tell you what, I know who bet on the Vikings, friend of the show from Forward Progress, for the 30th year in a row. Since he was old enough.
Is that what he gave out today? I didn't know he gave. Is that what he gave out?
It was Vikings to make the play. I don't want to give out spam and stuff, but listen, on this one I have to. Vikings to make the playoff. The guy's been betting Vikings over and Vikings Super Bowl and Vikings to make the playoff for like 8 straight years. I do like listen, I love KOC. I think he's maybe the best, maybe the most underrated guy. I don't know. He's definitely one of the best coaches in all of football, best offensive minds, best quarterback coach. With that said, it's such a loaded division now. And all of those games, it's going to be like 3-point spreads for every game in the division for all 4 teams. And listen, am I going to come on here and, I will. Frank Ragnow leaving hurts though. That really hurt today. But
yeah, it did. I didn't want to bring that up. But
I know, because he was a fucking legend. There's if you Google it, like a great Dan Campbell, Frank Ragnow story from last year. We had like a half separated shoulder, and he bullied Dan Campbell into a locker and was like, "Look, do you think it's locker and let me play?" That guy was tough as shit. So I think he's a Hall of Fame center. But yeah, I will say, division, it's going to be tough this year. It's going to be tough.
Trip in the chat. I had to wait until Brad and Knish got their contracts renewed. Well, not signed, but looking good before I renewed my Hit the Books membership for the 2025 season. Let's go. Thank you, Trip. Jake, UConn over 7.5 schedule seems easy again like last year. Didn't bet that. Man, Not used to seeing 7.5 on
I
UConn.
was just gonna say, I'll leave you with it. I don't have a strong opinion, but I'll give you this nugget. Is a former media member who now kind of does his own thing, Lockie Lockerson.
Yep.
He likes in his win total stuff to take a lot into account historical program levels and historical program numbers. And as BP led off with, this is probably the highest UConn win total in I don't know, since maybe World Cup. I don't know when the last time UConn had at least since
Randy Edsel. You couldn't even bet their probably win total at that point 15 years ago.
Yeah, so since win totals have been a thing, UConn hasn't had 7.5. So you're betting on a program, which could happen, but to exceed its historical level at an all-time high. So again, doesn't mean it can't happen. Doesn't mean things don't change. Just one of those. I'm probably not going over on 7.5.
Ryan McCarthy, thoughts on Saul and Townsend to replace Noel and Higgins? That's going to be a downgrade. Hard to be as good as those two were. So
yeah, you can't, especially at ISU, you can't replace that level of production at the skill positions and have to be as good. So
I do like that Saul kid from East Carolina, but again,
no, for sure.
Marshall under 5.5. Sure, lean that way. Although I think somebody posted 4.5 and I leaned over, but man, they're totally new roster. Somebody's got to win. See, the thing that I'm struggling with the G5 is there's so much turnover. Well, last I checked, it's still a 0-sum game. Yeah, some of these coaches I don't even like, but somebody's got to win a football game. So I'm just not comfortable betting a lot of overs on these first-year coaches. Trip also Southern Miss to win the Sun Belt is my only future bet. They're catching 14.5 in the opener versus Mississippi State. Is that line worth a bet now? On that's moving a little bit. People are liking Southern Miss quite a bit.
There's there's another creator in the space that is now used to be enemy of the show, now friend of the show, that BP hashed it out with, that is very high on Southern Miss himself. So, and there's a lot of public love on Southern Miss, I will say that. Me personally,
I think I might be on the opposite side on that game. But I'm gonna keep it quiet. There's some things I haven't bet it yet, but I did say I bet Mississippi State over. So we'll see.
Yep.
Navy schedule. We're quiet sometimes for a reason. We got a long summer still, guys. I mean, come on. Navy schedule seems fairly easy. Any love for over 8.5 wins? No, but I hear you. There's a chance they enter the Notre Dame game unbeaten. But I'm not running to bet Surface Academy over 8.5 wins. Even though I tend to like the Surface Academies, betting over on them because just they're routinely consistent. I have trust in them, but 8.5 is a little steep. You know anything with Navy?
No,
for Navy.
And I agree. I know
the playoffs.
The schedule is but man, I got to tell you, I'm with you on that. It feels like a new era in the Service Academy game where when you combine some of the rule changes with some of the roster stuff, with kind of the ability for the lack of ability for them to recruit and stuff, the Service Academies used to feel like a lot more of a sure, even we're talking just a couple of years ago, a lot more of a solid bet sure thing that that I'm not totally able to quantify at the moment, at least myself, and feel confident that it is going to be kind of a lock for them or in it. So I'm kind of shying away at the moment. So to be honest,
feels like there's a little bit more variance with them.
Yes.
I mean, Army and Navy did have historically good seasons, but Air Force really, I mean, you and I know this, we bet Air Force over. They shit the bed.
Yep.
Even though they tried to, at the end of the season, they looked pretty good. That's the team I thought they were going to be. Connor, thoughts on Marshall? Again, there's some play. I think FanDuel has 4.5. Some places have 5.5. So, I mean, depends on what price. Step on a duck loves a Marshall under. Decimated in the portal. Tougher Sunbelt schedule. Mickey Hill thinks the Notre Dame USC rivalry, will it survive? I don't think it will. I think it's going bye-bye.
I don't think so either.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's just it's one of the.
Read the tea leaves. Notre Dame just signed a long-term agreement with Clemson for 12 years. And most of those don't count towards the ACC agreement. So they had to go out there and get somebody. So that tells you right there. Kind of sad. Who's to blame? I think it's more SC. And that I'm pulling the Notre Dame hat off. I do think it's more SC doesn't want to really play it. So,
and you know what? Now that
they're in the Big Ten. I mean, I see it. I see why, but
that's what it is, really. As I think it's a conference play now, where it's like now we're in the Big Ten. Now we got eight or nine, conference games, depending which way we're going to go about it. Do we really want to add? Because to me, if you're adding if you're having Notre Dame every year, you keep this going. You almost can't schedule anybody else. Or your other two games are going to be, some, I don't know, Fresno State and some like. You're kind of locked in there, along with the allegiance Notre Dame has to kind of some ACC stuff. So it's just business nowadays. Sad, but it is what it is.
I will say, if it was a Pete Carroll era, the game would be on still. So if they were beating Notre Dame most seasons, I think it would have a better chance. The fact that they're losing and they're in the Big Ten, they're already traveling across the country 3-4 times. It is. And I think Lincoln Riley's a gutless. So he just is. I think he's gutless. Can Wyoming win in the Mountain West? No, I mean, I think Boise State's head and shoulders above everybody in that conference. If you're looking for a long shot, go ahead.
I'm kind of out on Wyoming as a program, to be honest with you. I don't didn't love the transition from Greg Bowl, didn't love the hire exactly. They're not a program that can really, under the bowl years, it was like you knew what you were getting. Ugly football, bad weather up there in Laramie. Like, they'd play defense, they'd run the ball, they could never pass for shit. I think they've just kind of been leaped by a number of programs there. So I would need a better price than 32. I'm not bullish on them to begin with as a program and going into this year. And I think there's much better shots there for some of those programs between them and Boise to actually challenge.
Right, a couple of Penn State questions to close it out, and then we'll get you guys the best bet for sticking with us for an hour. We appreciate you guys. Very lively chat today. Ryan, Penn State seems like they finally do it this year. By do it, win it all, win the Big Ten. I don't see it. I just don't. Even though on paper it should. On paper, I'm going to tweak some things, but just my current formula has Penn State number 1 in my power ratings.
Wow.
My current formula has that. Is it going to finish that after I do some tweaks and stuff, some manual adjustments, and not rely on AI and the computer? No, I don't think so. I can't trust them, but it's there. But James Franklin, Drew Aller, I don't trust them to get it done.
Yeah, listen, I think if you're making the case for Penn State, it's that they're still at or around, maybe even a little above last year's level, and everybody else is dropping.
Yes.
Oregon takes a step back. Ohio State takes a step back. And they're kind of sitting there as the team that's still at the level.
Yep.
To be. With that said, BP laid it out, you've got a coach and a QB that aren't exactly have covered themselves in glory in big games. So we will see. But I'm not betting it with my own money, I'll tell you that.
I did bet them to win the Big Ten at 4-1. I took that.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. I can see him. Does a Penn State team that loses to Oregon, Ohio State make the playoffs? That kind of depends.
They have to win every other game.
Which they're going to be a significant favorite to do so. The schedule's not that tough. Are they close? There's a lot of variables there. Are they close losses? They lose both game by 3 points. Probably still in. And depends on where we're at in some of the other conferences. Charles, one last one. Any nugget on Florida State? Because I saw a couple questions on Florida State. I'm a seller on Florida State, and the people I trust most around the program are a little bit of a seller. I think they're going to be much improved, but how could they not be? They went 2-10 last year.
Yeah, we'll see. Because in a chat,
one last thing, are you seeing? People are saying in the chat, Notre Dame to make the playoffs -110. Where are the make the playoffs odds up? Where are those at? Do they just get posted? That's something I haven't seen yet.
I haven't.
Yeah, where are those posted at? If you guys on the live chat, because I have not personally seen them. If anybody's still in the comments, Parks. Okay, that's why. Can be, right?
That'll do it.
All right, I'll look. I would lean. Man, I don't want to talk too much. I haven't looked at them yet, but that seems like a cheap number. I'll just put it that way. There you go. College football, it can be then. All right. I'll be looking at that right after the show. We got a best bet. I'll throw some out there and see if you agree or disagree. I'll give you one. Kansas under 7.5. You like it or not? Have you looked at them yet?
Yep, I'm with you on that one. That's one of the teams looking to fade. Talking to some other people that kind of in the industry we're on that as well. So yeah, I'm with you if you want to go.
Yeah, I think that's still doable. Not too expensive yet, but let's go under 7.5 wins. Gave that out to clients. That was one of my strongest plays. And still a Power 4 conference team. Look at it move. Look at it move. Let's call it good at minus 160 or less. It's good till. Hopefully Moretto was quick to the trigger to get that in. Probably not. That's okay. As long as he puts another 0 on the check, that'd be nice. But yeah, we're in on Kansas under 7.5. We'll call it minus 160 or less. Good. Just don't look at the schedule. I just don't see it. Don't return much. Obviously they were a tough luck team last year, but still only won 5 games. I don't see 8-4. I think Texas Tech's better. Kansas State's better. Utah, I think I'm certainly bullish more on Utah. Arizona State's got a lot of people back. So, I mean, there's a lot. I like TCU over them in the power rating. I think Baylor's probably better than them. Baylor, who killed, 5-6 Kansas going for bowl eligibility at the end of last year. Baylor just ran them out of the stadium by 4 touchdowns. So there's just a lot of teams I like more in the Big 12 than Kansas, and I just don't see 8 wins. So there we go. There's a best bet. You got anything else, or we're gonna keep it? We're gonna tiptoe.
We'll tiptoe, and then I'll have we'll do a G5 conference future next week, and we now good to have the boat back rolling.
Yeah, great show, guys. Big thanks to all you guys out there that contributed. Sean, big thanks to you. Step on a Duck, who also had a super chat out there. All the new members. Big thanks to Alex Moretto. Did a great job producing the show. As for the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, I'm Brad Powers. You just watched Hit the Books, part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel. See you next Monday at 5.